Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Life Lessons. I'm Deagria Cook. On today's show, we'll be talking about the power of thinking outside of the box. Today, we'll be talking to a special guest who had to learn just that, thinking outside of the box. She overcame many of life's obstacles and was able to find what so many people strive for today, love. Love is the one thing we all desire, we all need, and we absolutely cannot live without. Let's get started with the show. Samantha Pounds is a public relations professional and has built an innovative career as the co-founder of Dreamstyle Media. When she's not working on creating PR campaigns for her clients, Samantha is a writer. Her personal story, Love Falls on Deaf Ears and Hears Clearly, is about rejection, hope, and hearing the voice of love and responding to the call. With that being said, it is my pleasure to introduce my guest, Samantha, to the show. Samantha, welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It is my absolute pleasure to be here. I've been wanting to get on this stage for quite a while.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Wow. Well, you know what? That means a lot. That means a lot to me and a lot to us. Well, good. I'm glad you want to, tell your story. So tell me about this love story that I came across on social media because I was stalking social media and I came across your story. So tell me about this love story.
Yeah, so Love Falls on Deaf Ears and Hears Clearly is just essentially a story about me just simply chronicling my dating past, my dating career, dating history, as I like to put it. It's just really just kind of me just chronicling the different stages of the guys that I've dated in the past leading up to who I fell in love with. And also it's just my way of just kind of wanting to start the dialogue in the community within women and in some cases men as well about dating and what it means to date outside of the box.
Dating outside of the box. So explain to me what that means, because when I think about outside of the box, I mean, could that be different culture? Could that be different environments? Could that be international? I mean, what does that mean?
Yeah, absolutely. When I first, decided that I wanted to date outside of the box, I initially thought that meant to date outside of my race, to try something different. But then I really got to thinking about what dating outside of the box meant for me personally. And for me, that just meant someone different, someone that just truly was just different than what I was used to. And in my case, the person who I dated outside of the box with is deaf.
He's deaf?
Yes.
So he cannot hear?
He cannot hear. He wears a cochlear implant, and when that is not on, he absolutely cannot hear a lick.
Oh my goodness. So what does that mean for you? Like, how have you had to change the way you live your life? I mean, because I can imagine you would have to change some things.
Yes. So for me, I had to learn sign language to communicate with him.
Really?
Yes. Before I was really big into, talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a really big talker. And with him, I had to kind of adjust how I did that. So now, we have to text a lot, just the way we communicate with each other, even something as small as, listening to music while we're, in the car together driving. I had to kind of readjust that.
Oh my goodness. You know what? That would be a huge shift. I mean, that would be a huge shift for anyone. I mean, a lot of people take for granted. I mean, we take for granted, but you said just listening to music in a car.
Yes.
I mean, like, I couldn't imagine. Like, do we write in silence? Do we not write in silence? Is the music too loud? But oh my goodness. So how long has this process, how long did the adjustment take? Like, or is it still an adjustment for you?
Honestly, I would have to say that it's an adjustment every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I learn something different. I learn something new. But I would say it took me about maybe roughly 6 to 8 months, really just to kind of get used to all of the awkwardness, with being with someone who's deaf, and when I say that, we could be out to dinner with each other, just having a conversation, and in the middle of the conversation, his batteries and his cochlear implant can completely go out.
Oh my goodness.
And then he's like, hold on a second, put the batteries in.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So tell me, I would like to know about signing, like for you, and for those that are watching. So tell me about signing and how does it work and how did you come across it? I mean, I knew he was teaching you, but did you have to do any additional training or did you have to go to class or how did that work in connection to your fiance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, the interesting thing about sign language is even when I was in college, I actually took a course. And so I kind of had already kind of knew something, but I kind of just zoned it out a lot. But what happened was in our relationship, and I actually talk about it in the book, there was actually a period of time to where his cochlear implant completely went out. He was out of it for a very long time. And so during that time, in order for him to effectively communicate with me, ultimately he had to really teach me how to sign.
Okay. You know, you know what? And you make that mention in the book. So in my reading, I came across that was the moment where you, and I thought it was awesome. I was like, oh my goodness. When you said, this is when I knew this man loved me. Like, this is when I knew he really was in love with me because he taught me how to sign.
Yeah.
And to me, he brought you into his world and he wanted you
Yes.
to know about his world. And so I
Yes.
thought that was just awesome.
Yes. And I mean, at any point during our relationship, he could have easily taught me how to sign, but it takes a great amount of patience.
Patience.
In my personal opinion, to where someone who cannot hear you, they are just, teaching you something, even though they cannot, communicate with you from a hearing perspective. And it takes a great deal of patience on both ends.
Okay, patience. Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and Samantha's going to talk about more about the book. Welcome back to Life Lessons. I am here with my wonderful guest, Samantha Pounds, and she is a first-time author. And so, Samantha, before we went to break, I wanted to just talk about briefly, what is the writing process for you? And with you being in PR, how has that made your experience better or improved your experience? Can you tell me about that, please?
Absolutely. Well, to talk about the writing process for me, initially, probably the first 6 to 8 months of my relationship, I was actually keeping journals. Just kind of journaling and chronicling my experience with Clark and just how the relationship was going. So initially, when I started the actual writing process, it was a lot easier for me.
Okay.
I would actually just make out an outline, and I would just kind of say, okay, in this chapter, I want to talk about this experience. And it just so happened that I had a journal, entry about it already.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of how that process went for me.
So it sounds like you were already prepped basically for the book that you written.
Yes.
That you wrote. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. That's interesting. So how is the PR? How has that assisted you with your work?
Yes, so for PR for me, it's a first love of mine. I enjoy doing it. So initially when I came into, the book, a lot of people, asked the big question, so are you going to hire a publicist? Or are you going to do it yourself?
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to do this myself.
That's right.
But then I thought about it. And I was like, you know what, maybe I do not want to do this myself, because I felt that if I would have initially handled all of the PR initiative, I would not be focused on the book. I would so much just be focused on, I got to, do an interview here. I have to pitch this, pitch that. So I actually worked with someone and I gave my input. And so for me, it just taught me to kind of just take a chill pill, relax and trust the skills of other people.
So that was like delegating and giving people kind of like what you do every day and you naturally do. You allow someone else to literally do their job.
Yes.
Knowing that they're going to get the job done.
Right. And that was so hard for me because the best thing that I can say about this book, I've never dealt with this. I've never done it. I've never had a child, but I just felt like this book was like giving birth. And it was like, now, hiring a PR person or working with the PR person is kind of like, okay, now I'm sending my child off to kindergarten for the first time. That's kind of how I can describe it.
And that's funny that you say that because that's what I hear. I hear authors say that.
Yeah.
It's like a birth of a baby. It's you watch it grow, you watch it develop, and then you send it off into the world. And so that's a good that's a good analogy.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I hear.
And I'm exhausted.
So tell me, how long did it take from start to finish for the book process? Like, because I know you said a couple of months of writing, and so from start to finish, how long did it take you?
I would say from start to finish, including, the PR aspect, it took me roughly about 5 to 6 months.
Okay. Okay. 5 to 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I really, really do.
No problem.
How is Clark?
Clark is good. Clark is good. He's just making transitions with his career.
Okay.
He is actually getting into teaching now. And he
really?
has a really big passion for working with younger kids, especially within the deaf community. So that's something that he's really, really embracing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He's giving back.
Yes.
He's closely connected.
Yes.
And he's giving back to the community.
Yes, yes.
That
so,
is absolutely
just to hear him talk about the
Mhm.
day that he had with his students, it honestly, it warms my heart because I'm like, oh my God, like, this is amazing.
Yeah, working from your passion.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's working from his passion.
Yes.
And it's definitely, you're working from your passion.
I am.
And so that's a plus. I mean,
Yes.
It sounds like a win-win.
Yes.
Power couple.
We're trying.
Okay. So I would like to know about, just in doing the reading, because I read your book and I love your book and you sent me a copy and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. No problem.
What is the greatest life lesson that you've learned? Like, so I think that we all learn a life lesson with, in life and in this journey that we're on. So what has been the greatest life lesson for you, and what would you like people to know?
Yes. I would say that the greatest life lesson that I have learned from writing this book and just my experiences in general is to never judge a book by its cover, A, and B, whatever experiences that you've had in the past, do not bring that into your new situation because you could potentially run away a good person by doing that.
Run away a good person.
Yes.
Sabotage.
Yes.
The goodness.
Yes. And I've had so many women, and I'm not making this up, I've had so many women who's read the book and they've, inboxed me on Facebook or sent me an email or made a Facebook post about this, and they've said, you've really taught me not to bring baggage into my current relationship, instead of, downing the current relationship that I'm in because he's not here, he's not there. I'm learning to work with him and encourage him instead of, degrading him.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest life lessons. Yes. Yes.
Wow. So patience.
Yes.
Not bringing baggage in the relationship. Not sabotaging something that could be potentially really, really great for you.
Yes.
And it sounds like, too, keeping the negative distractions out and just really focusing in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that
just
works.
Focus on the subject at hand. I learned that every single day.
Really?
Yes. Focus on the subject at hand.
So, in looking at the book, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Life lessons. I appreciate that.
No problem.
And looking at the book, I saw that there were a lot of interviews in the book, and I thought that was just amazing. How I don't know, were they interviews or were they emails, or it looked like there were many people that had wrote to you. Is that, but you incorporated that in the book. So tell me why that was important for you.
I thought that it was important. Well, let me back up a little bit, just so that people can understand. I had a lot of women, and in some cases men, they actually wrote me. They emailed me, Facebooked me, send me direct messages on Twitter, Instagram, and they had general questions, relationship questions about what it was like to be with someone who's deaf. And for me, the reason that I wanted to incorporate that in the book is because, again, I wanted to start the conversation. I wanted to start the dialogue within the community, that there is a community of people in our own community. They feel very underappreciated, and they just simply want someone to recognize and know them. And I felt, well, why not incorporate these questions so that people can understand what it's like to be with someone who's deaf, so that they can potentially not miss out on someone else that they could come across that's deaf.
Not miss out on someone that's going to be really, really wonderful in their life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to talk about how you guys can get a copy of this awesome book about hope, love, and finding the relationship that you deserve. We'll be right back. back. Samantha, thank you for being here once again. So can you tell everyone how can they get a copy of this great book? This is a great book, you guys. So can you tell everybody how to get a copy of your book and how they can find you on social media?
Yes, and before I say that again, thank you so much for allowing me to be on here. It's been a pleasure. I've had a wonderful time. So thank you.
Thank you.
To get the book, all you have to simply do is just go to my website. It's my first and last name.com. If you want an actual physical copy, and if you are more into ebooks, you can just go to amazon.com, type in the title of the book, and you can get your e-copy, and it'll get directly to your Kindle, iPad, whatever it is that you use. For social media, I'm real big on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Facebook, just find me at author Samantha Pounds. And then on Instagram and Twitter, it's author S Pounds. Just follow me, like me, and I will do the same back.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you today.
You as well. Thank
you.
Thank you.
So thank you guys for watching. Tune in next week to Life Lessons. And as always, make it a great day.